Since the release of Warzone, bunkers, telephones, and computers have been forefront in a multi-step Easter egg, with fans scrambling to work out how to open the bunkers, how to use these telephones and computers. But as of now, these items are coded to do nothing in the game. But this video is where everything changes, as we are very close to the beginnings of some huge Easter eggs happening within Warzone, and I'm going to explain everything for you in this video. There is so much to get through in this video, so it is super important you watch all the way through to not miss out on anything. Trust me, there is a lot of cool stuff. And if this video gets you excited for this Easter egg coming, then be sure to leave a like rating. A lot of work went into this video, and I'd really appreciate it. Hit that subscribe button while you're down there, and let's deploy into these Easter eggs. So to start things off, let's jump to a recently added mystery, the red access card. It's been in the game a little while, and it still remains an incredibly rare item found only in legendary loot chests. You can see that it is a health item in the game, but doesn't have a purpose yet. Now, what if I told you that the red access card isn't going to be the only access card in Warzone, and that there's actually 2 more? Yeah, I'm just as surprised as you are. With credit to Tomba from r/Modern Warzone, we can take a super detailed look at the actual in-game model of the card. You can see it's the red access card because it has B2 with a red box behind it, with text saying giving the keycard to personnel with an insufficient security clearance is strictly forbidden. Now, if this was just a random health item, why would it be so detailed and have that writing on the card? Well, if you put 2 and 2 together, this red access card is for something in the Warzone map which currently isn't there. If it was, I think someone would have found a use for it by now. But the exciting thing is a red access card is not going to be the only access card. There is also going to be a green access card and a blue access card. Now, the real kicker is that in game, it currently says the use for the card is unknown. So there's no way that anyone can work out what the purpose for these cards are for right now. But since the green and the blue card aren't in the game yet, it might be a matter of days or weeks before we see these introduced fully and can finally use them somehow in game. But what is really interesting is the 3 cards that exist in the files right now. We have that red one which says B2 on it, then we have a green one which says C3, and then this other one for A level which doesn't have a number or color on it, but we assume this is the blue one. It totally makes sense that some mysterious random doors will appear in Warzone at some point where these key cards will be used, but I don't think they're linked to the bunkers, since the bunkers ask for a code to be inputted. But on the topic of bunkers, we have some very exciting news to delve into with those in this video. Now, if you've been following the channel and the updates on the Warzone Easter eggs with these bunkers, the coding in the game has set the bunker doors, the telephones, and the computers to give you a deny sound, pretty much confirming that these features are locked right now in Warzone, but will be unlocked at a later point. Well, with the recent mid-season update, we assume that maybe the bunkers will finally be accessible, especially when you link the weird red access card together. It can only really be used for the bunkers, right? Well, boy, do I have some exciting news, because the bunkers have changed in the recent update, and added in the game files now is animations of the bunker doors opening, meaning that there is a good chance in the very near future we will actually be able to open the bunker doors. Up until now, these doors had no opening animation, but combining that with animations and sounds for the bunker doors opening is likely that we will be able to open these very soon. Huge credit again to the guys over at Modern Warzone for discovering this within the game. But the real question is, since the animation and sound exists now for the bunker doors opening, can we do it right this moment? Somehow we need to find a code around the Warzone map and input it into one of the 10 bunkers that are around the map. The optimistic side of me really wants to hope that this is something we can do right now, but I think if we could, it would be a little bit more obvious. But it does not end there, my friends, because we have even more evidence with the bunker doors, and not only that, but the telephones and the computers. As within the latest update, there are sound files that relate to you putting in correct and incorrect codes in the bunker keypads, as well as the telephones. This is absolutely crazy. So let's jump straight into them. But there is a little bit of a complication with these sounds, as they are all from the Russian announcer in Modern Warfare multiplayer, but he is speaking in Russian. Now, as you can tell, I speak English. I do not speak or understand Russian, but I was not going to let that barrier stand in my way how this Easter egg is going to work and a legendary subscriber called @Eugene Vodolazov came in clutch and translated all of these sounds for me, which helps understand the narrative behind this Easter egg and what exactly is going on when we input these correct codes into the bunkers. So kicking things off, we have 4 sound files for putting in a correct code in Russian. This translates to need to make a breakthrough to the north sector. North sector is clear. Understood. The squad is moving out and the north sector is clear. Now, it is also possible to put in a incorrect bunker code, and these are the messages that you'll get. Negative, message received, stand by, and no, sir. Now, there is also a line for a non-code being correct, which is understood, the squad is moving out. Diving into the bunker code phone quotes, we have to all squads, the base is captured, change the code. Now, I hear you, and they are getting closer. But the use of they at the beginning could also be a name or likely a nickname. And finally, we have sound files for every keypad number you press at these bunker doors. Now, each time you press one of them, you'll hear the responding number in Russian. So we have 0 to 9 on this keypad, just like you naturally would with a normal keypad. But this is all incredibly exciting because it proves that the use of the bunker keypads are either active right this moment, or Infinity Ward is slowly but surely layering every aspect of this big, huge Easter egg into the game, one update at a time. But if I was to put my tinfoil hat on and look at the current speed in which they've been adding Easter eggs into Warzone, we had the bunkers, telephones, and computers arrive on day 1 of Warzone with all of these being locked so you couldn't use them. And here we are nearly 2 months later with some new stuff finally being added. So with that time frame in mind, it might actually be a little while longer for the big main event to actually happen in Warzone. But since the other keycards are already there in the game files, they could simply just activate them one day in the next few days or weeks, and that current coding of them being programmed to do nothing could change at the flick of a switch, and we could have a very juicy Easter egg hunt on our hands. But the stage is set. Right now, there are officially bunkers that can have a correct code put in. We just don't know where to actually find any codes, how to interact with the codes and have them on our person so that we can try and input these into a keypad. Now, if you were to ask me what could be inside these bunkers, I have absolutely no idea. I did cover an idea in my previous video about what the bunkers could be used for, but I have another idea I want to throw in. Now, when Warzone was revealed with its first trailer, there was a shot of someone using a juggernaut on a helicopter, and we've not yet seen juggernaut suits in Warzone. But in the recent Season 3 update, quotes have been added to Warzone to support you getting a juggernaut suit, your teammates getting a juggernaut suit, and an enemy getting a juggernaut suit. So they could be coming to the game very soon, if not already in there. Now, when it comes to finding such an overpowered item, it would be very unfair to find that in floor loot or even from drops, but having them hidden behind something like a huge bunker could be a really cool reward. I'm sure some of you are curious, and you may have seen a video when Warzone first came out about glitching inside of the bunkers to see if there was anything inside of it. And when Warzone first released, there isn't actually anything behind the doors as of yet. It's just empty terrain that's not actually been filled in yet. Well, since the recent update, the mapping behind the bunker doors have not been updated, so there is no new floors or anything added in. They're still empty. So it still remains a huge mystery about what exactly is going to be inside of the bunker doors, how much space is going to be in there. Is it going to be like a hallway leading you down to a room where all of these goodies are going to be sat there waiting for you? We really don't know. And on top of that, I also spoke last video about the potential of a tactical nuke being added into Warzone due to some sound files and some strings in the game, but we have no idea if this was scrapped content which has just been remaining into the game, or if a nuke event could actually happen. Narrative director of Modern Warfare did say that there is going to be Fortnite-like style events happening planned for Warzone. An event of that scale probably won't happen anytime in the very near future in Warzone, That could definitely happen at some point down the line, and everything involving the bunkers, the phones, the keypads, the computers, it could all tie into a huge Fortnite-style event like they teased. But that about wraps up everything. As soon as these bunker doors are openable, you'll know it'll be here on the channel, so be sure to subscribe so I can keep you updated if this is something we can do now or we can do down the line. But if you enjoyed the video, drop a like rating, and I'll catch you for another Modern Warfare Warzone Easter Eggs video, hopefully very, very soon.